Hi, welcome back to Conversations with Carrie, and it's book review time. All book review, y'all know how I do. All right, but first, have you been over to carrielee.com to read my latest short story? What? Okay, head on over there. I got the link down below. Make sure you check it out. If you don't know, I'm a blogger and a writer, so of course I'm an avid reader. But on my blog, I include some funny stories about my dating experiences. I also include faith and encouragement to help you be the best you can be in Christ, as well as I'd love to write short stories and just talk about, just whatever comes up in my head. Sometimes I'm inspired by the books that I read. So for now, let's get right into it. All right, so I'm talking about 3 different authors today. I normally sometimes do like several books by the same author, but these I've only read their first ones or maybe their only one, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So, first, Americanah. If you have been living underneath a rock, you have not heard of this book yet. And if you have not heard of it yet, you need to read it. I promise, especially as a good old American, sometimes we get caught up in our own lives. And this book, while it was funny, it was relevant, it also taught me so much about African culture. It's about 2 characters, a woman and a man, and I'm not going to say their names because for one, I will probably jack up their names. And then also what I'm struggling with, I don't want to give away too much. I want to tell you just enough, but I don't want to just tell you everything that happens. Even though, side note, I'm one of those people, you can tell me exactly what happens and I don't care. I will still read the book as if I didn't know anything. But I won't have any spoiler alerts here. So they leave Nigeria and they go to America, and basically they experience that, in America I'm black. And that comes with a lot. And they're extremely educated, and all of a sudden they're going from like this comfortable life to struggling in different ways. Like her struggle is very different from his struggle because, again, he's seen as a black man in America, which we know, unfortunately, black men are hated right now in America. But he, he's struggling, he has all this education. All of a sudden he's around here getting paid underneath the table and doing these odd jobs just to make ends meet. And then she actually becomes, she's a blogger, and she starts writing on her blog about her experience and gets a lot of notoriety and has a very different experience. And I love that in this, she is telling about a part of her experience when she's in the braiding shop. And y'all know I'll be on here with different hairstyles because the girl keeps some braids. And it's so interesting, the experience she has in the braid shop, and I could totally relate to what my experience is. So I highly recommend this read. I don't think it's just for people of color to read this. I think it's enlightening for everybody to read this because, again, it's a different culture than American culture. I think it should be in curriculum for high schools and colleges. It's an amazing book, and I think it could inform a lot of people who are currently walking around purposefully ignorant. You heard me, didn't you? Okay. Now on to I would say lighter note, but actually this book was a little heavy. Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. So I read this, and so if you haven't seen any of my previous book reviews, you might want to check those out because, again, I talk about Reese Witherspoon totally just producing these books that she's like, oh yeah, I want to play that character, and she has already she plans on making this into a major motion picture. But it's actually kind of dark, some of the things that this character is going through. So this character experienced some serious childhood trauma, and she's living her life like everything's fine. Life is meant to be fine. Life is not meant to be grand. And it actually made me think about how many people are walking through life like that. She was basically just a functioning alcoholic, and she's also depressed, completely depressed, but she doesn't even realize it. But she's also maybe, I don't know, she's such an interesting character. She makes you think about things differently because she also says whatever's on her mind. It's you can be like, oh, you're so funny. She would be like, but I wasn't being funny. I wasn't making a joke. She just doesn't know what we consider societal norms. That's not how she operates. So this one, it took me completely by surprise because as you're reading it and you're thinking oh, okay, maybe she's just a little quirky. No, boo-boo. Honey has some serious issues. So I think it's a really good read. I definitely recommend it, especially if you have somebody in your family or friends or in your circle that's I don't don't know, she seems a little off. She might be a little bit off, but don't just assume that it's just because it's something mental. Like, there should be some things that she might really need to see a therapist about, which, hello, I think more people need to go see a therapist, and this book shows the importance of that. So, highly recommend this one. Good read. And then Where the Crawdads Sing. Again, this was a book club read for me. My book club, we do really great books. Just have to say, so if you're not in the book club, you know, you need to get in one. Create one. Do whatever you need to do. Because we also have some great conversation. But this is about a woman or a young girl who was abandoned in the marsh. And they actually nicknamed her Marsh Girl, and she grows up learning everything about plants, and she doesn't have any education, and she falls in love, of course, but then she gets her heart broken, and it's kind of a story of what happens after the heartbreak as well. And she's mad, she needs some healing. It's a great read. Now, I will also say there is a lot of description about nature. The way this woman describes like a leaf or a bird or a feather, I feel I'm not an outdoors person, so let me preface with that. So I find sometimes I was just kind of like, yeah, like get to the action, because she paints this beautiful picture of like what the marsh was like, and just you know, the outdoors, which I'm kind of like, great, but can we get to what the story is talking about? But if you appreciate outdoors and you're one of those people that you can just admire the beauty when you look up at the sky, that's not me, but you would totally love this. I also love that because it's set back in the 60s, which there's some race relations that go on as well. And you're thinking, wow, that's just the 60s. Exactly. You have to read it till the end. A couple people in my book club, they was just like, I didn't finish it. You need to finish this one to the very end, because I don't know. I can't wait. If you've read it, leave me a comment down below. Let me know. What did you think? Did she do it? So, okay. Well, I probably already said too much. So, definitely worth the read. Again, with all the nature description, it gets a little lengthy, but it's definitely a great read. So, you guys, those are my 3 books for you to consider for the season. I hope you enjoy it, and join me again for Conversations with Carrie. Take care.